Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Mac.
and today we're going to give our first impressions of Sanssouci. Sanssouci, chi,
Or
oui.
Sanssouci.
Yes, however it's pronounced. But yeah, this is a game that we just got done playing for a second time.
Yes.
We played it previously like a week or two ago, I think. Maybe it's longer than that, I don't know.
Could
Lose
be.
track of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one from Michael Kiesling, who is the designer of Azul as well. So I think that's probably what he's best known for. I know
Yeah.
he works with Kramer. Kramer and Kiesling kind of team up quite a bit as well. But yeah, this one was one that we ended up getting at Gen Con.
It was like the one buy that I was like, hey, let's get that one.
That was the one she was most excited about. So we'll have to see what she thought, if the excitement was worth it or not. But yeah, it's a tile placement game. I'm trying to think of, you're also sort of drafting them, selecting them at least in a way, because you get a couple cards in your hand and there's like 10 tiles available. There's like 6 different symbols that can be on them, and then there's
6 different colors.
six. Is it 6
rows.
different colors or 5?
Oh,
Got purple, blue. So yeah,
There's
10 tiles out there. So yeah, and your cards will have either kind of colors on them or symbols on them, and then you use those to draft out of the tiles. So you're trying to work these people down your board to score points, because the further down the board you go with them, the more points that they score throughout the game, and they'll kind of keep chaining points. So if you could get a whole row essentially without moving them previously, you could just go like 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, 6 points if you had enough time in the game. But yeah, it's a pretty simple one overall. The rule book isn't too long.
Yeah, it's a little pamphlet.
It's one of the. It's kind of like Azul, where it's very kind of simple to understand what you can do. But like coming up with the best way to do it is sometimes a little bit more thinky, and there's more strategy that goes into that. And yeah, after 2 plays, I would say that I like this one quite a bit. I think there's a few ways you could definitely approach it, and trying to, I don't know, come up with the, I don't know, best way to most efficiently use your people so that you can always be scoring. I think ideally you'd like to try to score 2 to 3 points minimum, if not more, each turn.
Yep.
So if you're ever having to just move it and score 1 point from like the top row, you don't want to do that too often.
Rough.
You'll probably have to, but you don't want to be doing it often if you can help it. So I really like it in that way, and yeah, I think it feels a little bit different than other games. It's not too long, which is also a good thing. I always like it when games don't feel too long, and I think that this one will probably feel fine at all player counts. I don't think that it'll all of a sudden feel like, oh, this game's way too long at 4 players or something. So
granted, there's
that's
no
always a good thing.
analysis paralysis.
There's not too much. There might be a little bit where you have to make a more important decision possibly, but yeah, not too bad.
Should be. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess, what did you think of these first plays?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think it lived up to the hype, at least for me, which was very little hype. Because anyway. So, yeah, I thought it was good. I think they are clever about how they did it. You only get 2 cards in your hand, so that really limits what you can choose, because you have those 2 cards, and then those 10 out there, are going to maybe correspond to those cards, so you might have limited choices in that way. If you get lucky and nothing's out there, you can use a wild. That might be good on time to time. I also like that you don't have to just move your person straight down into the garden, that they can take a different pathway through the garden to get to that lower place, so you don't always have to lay them in the order downwards. In order to be able to get to those points, you can use different paths, which I think is pretty thematic, considering you're literally building a garden out and you're wanting people to explore it. So, gotta give props for that. And it comes with like mini expansions is kind of the idea, or some variants, I guess you'd call them. So I feel like that it gives it enough to switch it up, and you really are playing kind of by the luck of what comes out and what cards you have, which you can mitigate a bit after playing. It seems like certainly there are better ways to go about some of the movements, but I think it's really simple, but at the same time, enough, without being, too easy. And so I think it's I would say probably a filler game.
Yeah, a little bit longer than filler, but
Yeah.
yeah, right there, right about
Yeah.
there. I think definitely if you played it a lot, I guess it would be. I would say it's about the same as like Azul. It's probably shorter than Azul actually.
Yeah, probably.
So if you kind of consider Azul right there, especially at the lower player counts when it's a little bit faster, I would say it's about the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So I thought it was really great. I'm really glad we picked this one up. And I don't know. I guess I haven't seen much out there about it, so hopefully it'll just continue to grow. But if not, now is your.
Yeah, I think this one is actually just recently reprinted because I think it's like an older game. For some reason, I'm thinking 2016. I don't know if that's when it was originally from or not, but I think it's an
really?
older game, and then now they just came back, and this is the updated edition. I don't know if they made changes to it or not, or if it was just kind of a revamp of the artwork and stuff, and publisher or what it was. But yeah, I think this one's worth checking out. It's a fun little game, and yeah, it's definitely one of those that you could probably introduce to most people. Kind of that either it could almost be an entry level game. I think I don't think it's too much more difficult
Yeah, it's
than
definitely
Catans and Carcassones and Tickets to Rides.
Yeah, it's definitely
about
a
the same.
friendly game. Yeah,
Mhm.
a welcoming game. Is that the term?
Welcoming game, yes.
A welcoming game.
But yeah, I think I would right now set it at about an 8 to maybe 8.25 is where I would think maybe it could end up. But we'll see with more plays.
Big margin there.
Yeah, a pretty big margin.
Yeah, I'd probably give it an 8 or a 9 this way.
Ooh.
So.
Larger margin.
I talk in whole numbers.
There you go. But yeah, this one's one to definitely check out, and we've got an unboxing video for this one if you want to see some of the bits and bobs of what's in the box. I would say it's not too. Azul is definitely the better looking game.
Sure.
This one is nice looking, but I would say it's for being a garden. If it's for being a garden theme, it's not like it doesn't look all that like beautiful like a garden. I would think.
Sure.
Or do you like the artwork quite a bit?
So it's like a palace garden. So it's like
Right.
all trimmed hedges and stuff, and like the reason they used all the icons they did is
Yes.
because of like fountains and statues. Like it's not probably like a flower garden.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, still all that stuff. Like, in a way, I would expect it to look really kind of bright and beautiful.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I feel like it looks kind of toned down Euro-y.
Yeah.
I
Probably.
think.
Yeah, probably a bit. I think they tried, but I mean, you are working with little squares for artwork,
True.
so
That's fair. So,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I don't know.
I guess I
It's
haven't played Carcassonne in a little bit, but I'm wondering if that artwork's better or not.
It's not.
Wow! Shots fired. But, yeah, otherwise, we hope to see you on that unboxing video, and as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.